Welcome back to Lawyers and Libations with Sarah and Rebecca, episode 29.
Hello.
Fuck. So we're back to school. I mean, it's just, we're getting ready to go back to school. We're in the swings of things. 2 of your kids have gone back to school, and both of ours are starting rapidly.
Yep, private school start this week. I'm kind of on the struggle bus with whether or not I'm a good mom anymore. I felt pretty confident about it for the last 11 years, and as of late, things aren't going well. So I took Hayden back to school shopping she runs cross country, so I wanted to get new running shoes.
Yep.
Her soccer cleats also look like maybe she was, I don't know,
Attacked by a dog.
I'm not sure. They don't have nothing on the bottom. So we went to Dick's last night. At PS, they have tons of cute, like, casual shoes and cute running shoes. She put her nose up in the air and was not interested in anything that they had, and just, like, tightened her little hoodie and just sat there with her arms crossed in the middle of Dick's and was like, I don't like any of this.
Okay, we're not doing this anymore. So this has nothing to do with you being a good mom, because you're a phenomenal mom, and I know that. Again, I always say you should be sainted for your actions with your children because you have 3. Kill me. However, girls at this age are just dickheads, okay? They're Adeline, who is the light and love of my life. I have literally had to sit her down and go, listen, if you're going to be a fucking asshole to me, I'm going to take away all of your shit. Not just a little bit of your shit, all of your shit. It's going to be like the fucking 1700s in this house. I might not even let you turn on a light. You can read by candlelight. I don't fucking care, because no mom deserves, especially when they're good fucking moms, to be talked to like these asshole preteens are talking to us.
It's exhausting. Like, and Hayden's not even talking back. She just doesn't talk.
She's apathetic.
Completely. She's apathetic about soccer. She's apathetic about reading. She and I used to, at least, like, if it were just in the car, she was super excited to be the one that got to pick music instead of her brothers stealing my phone. Yesterday, when we were on the way to a party, and I go, do you want to listen to music? And she goes, no. And I go, okay, well, I'm going to put on Snoop Dogg anyway. And I put it on. She goes, oh, my God.
Not Snoop Dogg.
I hate this song.
What?
It's like, it's so weird. So I kind of tear up, because then I'm like, I think by virtue probably of what we do, and shockingly have a very overactive imagination. Reactive? I don't know. Is it active? Overactive. Immediately I start thinking, was she assaulted at camp? Has someone done something mean to her? And so I pull the car over and I start tearing up, and I go, were you assaulted at camp?
Did I miss that? Like,
I'm like, who are you? This is not
tell us right now, because we'll go and get rid of a body quickly.
I was like, I will call Sarah right now. We will kill whoever did whatever to you. And she goes, you're so dramatic. Nothing is wrong. And I was like, oh my God. So I dropped her off and I immediately called you. I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
They're just, okay.
It's
like,
so frustrating.
It's the hormonal imbalance thing, but also, like, so Adeline, she goes to therapy for all this, family stuff and all the things, right?
Litany of things.
Yeah, litany of things. I mean, God knows, I can't even begin to recount them. But regardless, so she goes to therapy because I want to make sure that if I'm fucking up, she has somebody to talk to as well, right? Because she's like, well, why do if I need to talk about other things, I can always talk about it to you. I go, yeah, but I'm not going to be fucking perfect. So this way you can have somebody that's trusted that can give you great advice if I fucking shit the bed. Who knows? It could happen at any moment. And so she comes home from therapy the other day, and I'm like, well, what did you talk about? And she said some things, and then she goes, and we talked about you. And I go, okay, all right. What do we got? What? I mean, like, I feel like you should at least tell me. She goes, well, I know that you think that you were once a 12-year-old girl, so you can relate to me, but you weren't a 12-year-old girl during this time. And I go, okay. For generations, all 12-year-old girls have said that to their moms when their moms try and give them advice. And for generations, as those 12-year-old girls grow up and become mothers, they then realize that actually their moms were fucking right, and they did fucking go through the same 90% of the same bullshit. And she goes, like, you didn't have to deal with all of the body image stuff that, like, now I have to deal with. And I go, Okay. Well, I was like, what is the ideal like body image for like 12-year-old girls right now or something? I was like, because I'm pretty sure they like have butts and boobs. And right, she was like, yeah. And she did like, the hourglass thing, but like the, ridiculously, I don't know, remove the rib type small stomach like Kim Kardashian, whatever the fuck that is. And I go, let me introduce you to Kate fucking Moss, okay, from 1992, where she was 76 pounds, put forward by Karl Lagerfeld to be the poster child for all women who could have no tits, no ass, no cellulite, a thigh gap, no tummy, no nothing. So that was circa fucking 1992.
And we can't get it out of our heads. I mean, even to this day, I stand in front of the mirror, like, and I'll be like, oh my God, my stomach sticks out. Yes, my stomach, while not perfect, doesn't stick out that much.
Your stomach doesn't fucking stick out.
Well, and I've had 3 kids.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why do I think that I should have a concave abdominal wall? And it's all, I definitely, it's Kate Moss.
It's 100% Kate Moss, but
I'll never let it go.
Actually, and so I Googled Kate Moss on my phone and showed it to Adeline. She goes, Jesus Christ. I go, yeah. So don't talk to me about your butt needs to be bigger. Fuck all the way off. Like we didn't eat for days.
And now the great news for our girls is that all those bodies are paid for now, right? Like everything's fake.
Nothing.
You can't assume that anybody you see on Instagram or any of these celebrities naturally have perfect butts and perfect boobs.
Well, but not only that, they also don't actually fucking look like that in real life. Anytime you see a candid photo of fucking anybody, you're like, Jesus Christ, who is that? And you're
they
like,
look like us.
Yeah,
normal.
100%.
Yeah.
P.S. I actually Googled Kate Moss. Yeah, I feel like we won that fight.
Oh, yeah?
many years later.
Not eating got back or affected her long term?
I think she just said fuck it and decided to be normal, and I couldn't be more proud of her personally, but high five to us.
I'm Googling that as soon as we finish up today.
Yeah, it's not bad. So, no, you're not a bad mom. The girls are just fucking dicks at this point. I threaten to stab Adeline in the throat nearly on a daily basis. Like, I'll be like, if you do that again, I will stab you in the throat. Stop doing it. Like, she just looks at me and, like, laughs and rolls her eyes and moves on. But I have, like, had to do the chain, jerk and be like, don't be a dick to me. I have too many other shit things going on in my life that really causes me stress. And you are supposed to be nice and kind and lovely. So don't put your shit on me because I already have enough shit.
That's what I said to Hayden yesterday. I go, look, you've got 2 brothers who both have lots of feelings. There's always something going on with my boys.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're my normal one. Like, you're supposed to be the happy one. And so she teared up and she goes, all you do is stress me out.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm going to go grocery shop. I will be back in an hour and we'll restart our evening.
Yeah. You're going to quit being a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
It's the way that this is going to go down.
The reason you're stressed out is because you didn't read. You didn't do any of the things I told you to do this summer. And now you have, a week to go and you've got a lot to do.
Yeah, no, Adeline always looks at me like I don't know, killed her fucking puppy or something when it comes down to being like, okay, you still got this book that you've got to finish for the summer. We started it at the beginning. I was like, try and read 10 pages a day and you'll be like done. She got the math packet done because that's fucking easy for her. She hates reading. So now, here it is.
2 books to go, 5 days.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's going to be so much fun. Anyway, it's the worst. Parenting preteen girls is...
It's not worst. For the faint of heart.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. But we did start back with soccer. We have a new coach. We have a bunch of new girls on the team, and we were instructed that if you want to play ECNL, which is a league that we're now in, that there will really, outside of soccer, not be many vacations. And I was like, excuse me, what?
You're like, my name's Sarah Stottlemyre. You should give us the schedule in advance.
Sorry. I'm going to need you to repeat that last part. And then, but was funny, he did say, or you just really need to get really good at last minute bookings. And I go, challenge fucking accepted. Now that
Done.
I can do, that's one of my strengths. But we are getting our Thanksgiving back, which is my birthday, which prior to Adeline competing in Disney for the past 3 years in soccer, I used to go. That was like my one big vacation, like go to Europe in the fall. So it's summer, which I really like to do as well. But That was like, I was like, yay, we've got time. Adeline's out of school and it's my birthday. So we just kind of combined them and we would go to Europe. So I get that back this year, bitches. I think
That's
we might go to
amazing.
Iceland.
Oh,
or
people
the
love
Azores.
it. Yep.
Yeah, one of the two.
You know, I do think before you officially sign up or even during tryouts for these club sports, they should give you the proposed schedule.
Yeah.
For the following year so you know what you're getting into. Like we like to do stuff for Labor Day weekend, and I think we have soccer tournaments for both kids. And so Ryan's like, we wouldn't have signed up for these teams and paid all of this money if we knew we couldn't go to the lake with our friends for Labor Day.
We just got a random tournament over fall break thrown on. So we no longer have a fall break. P.S. It's in fucking Wilmington, so it's not like you can drive there and come back. It's like
you have to fly. That's expensive.
Hours away. Yeah, well, all of our games, sadly, this year we're going to the hotspot of Greenville, Charlotte, Orlando, Jacksonville, Miami, Fort Myers, Wilmington, and Alabama. So every single weekend except for Thanksgiving, I'm fucked.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yuck. Well, I thought we could talk a little legal in this one. We haven't talked too much law recently, but a question that I get during client intakes all of the time is, how do you get paid, or am I going to need to pay you for this consultation?
Great news. You're not. It's always a free consultation. I mean, if you're doing plaintiff's work and you've suffered a personal injury or workers' comp injury, it is always a free consultation. We also do free case evaluations. So if you have, like, if you're trying to figure out kind of like if somebody's doing a good job evaluating a case and what you think it could be. I mean, God knows, I can't tell you how many times I receive calls from people, usually because they're shocked that workers' comp cases, you don't get pain and suffering, and the values are so fucking abysmally low. But they will sit there and they'll be like, I just think that my attorney completely undervalued this case on the estimate and all the things. And I'm like, actually, no. Your attorney evaluated it just about on the fucking dot. And it's because they're just shitty. So we do all those things for free, which I do think that a lot of clients don't know.
Absolutely. And I encourage people a lot, particularly when we're on the radio with the locker room guys. Like, if you don't know if you have a case, just call us and we'll talk about it. It's like 20 to 30 minutes typically to go through the facts of a personal injury or comp claim case and see if you have something. If you don't, like, no big deal.
Right.
But at least find out if you do. And we both, for a lot of our friends that solely do different types of personal injury, if there's a workers' compensation overlap, a lot of times people will call us and ask for, a 20-minute phone call with their clients just to go through what workers' compensation is and what your rights are. Because there's a lot of benefits to having a workers' compensation claim wrapped up in a personal injury claim.
Huge amount.
Huge, because workers' comp will pay for your medical, they'll pay for your lost time from work, but there are a lot of rules that you have to follow to get workers' compensation to pay. So to all of our listeners and legal friends, we're here. We'll do that.
We do. We also know, too, if you've got different types of law that you have questions about that you think that there might be a case, if we don't practice that type of law, we'll refer you out to somebody who's really, really good who does.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know everybody who does kind of the best of most aspects of the law. I mean, I might not be able to get you to the best contract lawyer because I don't usually run in those same circles. But I mean, if it's a litigation type lawyer, I can get you to some of the best ones. Yeah.
Good criminal lawyers, those are always good ones to have in your back pocket.
Divorce lawyers. I just had somebody text me today and be like, who's the best divorce lawyers right now? I mean, so.
And for that one, I'm always like, what's your issue? Child custody, money?
100%.
What is it? Because you definitely want someone specific.
What's your venue? What court are you going to be in? But we also are really good about if, I probably field at least one call a week where somebody will call and be asking questions about their comp case or something, and I'll say, they seem like they're doing everything right. You actually don't need a lawyer right now. Don't waste, if you end up resigning and settling, don't waste paying me. If they're doing some stuff and everything seems to be on point, I don't think you fucking need a lawyer right now. So I'll tell you that too.
Oh, yeah, I did that Friday afternoon.
See?
Yep.
But if they're fucking with them,
that's what I told him. I go, he was 2 weeks in. So typically kind of the red flag zone for workers' compensation claim is at 21 days. So they're either going to pick up your case or they're going to deny it or ignore you. But so at day 21.
generally ignore.
But if you get to day 21 and they're ignoring you, you're probably going to want to get a lawyer. And so, but if I talk to somebody in that first 2 weeks and they've given them the list of doctors and they're authorizing treatment and they're not treating them badly, I always set up a call for like 2 weeks later. I'm like, let's just touch base. If everything's still cool in 2 weeks, you're good. If in 2 weeks they have not offered you light duty work, or they're harassing you at the office, or like things are going out of kilter,
right,
you're probably going to want to rep up. And then another question with regard to payment I get from clients a lot. They're like, what if my case settles? Do you never get paid? And I'm like, it's kind of the risk of contingency work.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, it is the risk of contingency work.
High risk, high reward on our side.
Absolutely. And I call a lot of those cases my karma cases too. Like, because they'll have a friend or family that is going through some shit that they need help on, and then we will actually make money on a case. So, I mean, it's all about doing the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that's the biggest rule.
Yeah.
So, today we actually have Allie Phillips on, who is, she runs all the social media stuff kind of for Lawyers and Libations. She is a law school student, so she is currently in hell.
Or she just finished hell, which is the first year of law school.
First year is hell.
Yeah.
First year they scare you to death. Second year they work you to death. Third year they bore you to death. So she is going to be joining us to kind of discuss some stuff with social media and marketing stuff, as well as kind of to discuss about, law school life. Because, God, that was hell, and I've blocked most of it out. But I do try to give her as good advice as I can. So we will also be discussing that. So if you can just hang with us, we will be back with Allie in just a few minutes.
Welcome back to Lawyers and Libations. We are so happy to have Allie Phillips. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We love her.
She is wonderful. So Sarah and I are both technologically suspect. We're old. We don't know how to do anything cool with reels. Or
I just found out how to forward. I mean, we are old as fuck for sure. But I just did find out how to forward an email and create a group thing on Google Workspace. And I shit you not, I felt like, Bill Gates. I was like, motherfucker, look at me. Mensa IQ over here.
So smart. But yeah, we're not good at that. And so we're so blessed. Allie just finished up her first year of law school and is actually clerking for our friend Philip Pendergrass that was on the podcast a few episodes ago. But so we kidnapped her today to come hang out and talk with us and talk about law school and authoring social media.
Social media marketing. Yes. So Allie actually runs all of our social media stuff for Lawyers and Libations, and she's fucking brilliant. And as you can see, very pretty and very smart. So we are thrilled to have her.
And she brought a beverage. What did you bring us to drink?
I did. I brought Sauvignon Blanc. I actually got it from Phil today because he knew I was coming, and he gave me a bottle of wine. So
Yay.
He's the best. Okay, so we'll
and
take
it's
some
a twist
of that.
off.
Yep, twist off's very helpful for doing in-studio stuff.
Yes.
So you're back for the summer right now, and again, you're clerking with Philip, and then you're obviously continuing to help us in your off hours with the social media stuff. Where are you in law school?
So I just finished my first year, and I'm going into my second year.
Yeah, cheers.
Well, which town are you living in? Are you in Nashville?
I'm in Nashville, yes.
Well, God, that's a fun place to go to law school. That's not bad.
Definitely.
Not bad.
It makes it a little easier whenever you have some time off. You can actually go out, have some fun, decompress, lots of places to go. A lot of people actually, before I went to Nashville, were like, are you sure it's not going to be too distracting?
You sure you want to do that? There's a lot of honky-tonk bars there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's been really great. Like, having that time off and being able to go out has been really fun. So.
And have you been in Atlanta all summer?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yes. I've gone back and forth from Nashville to Atlanta a few times, taken a couple trips here and there, but I've worked at Pendergrass all summer, which has been awesome. I love working there. So.
How do you like starting off your career kind of in the personal injury arena?
I really have enjoyed it, and I've learned so much, and I got into it because of my uncle, and I really didn't know much about it going into it. All I knew is like hurt people.
We love your uncle.
And we're helping.
He's one of our faves.
Yeah, so it's been a great experience being able to just talk to clients, really be in it, and like learn everything about personal injury and how it affects people's lives, and then how we help them. So it's It's been really fun.
So Rebecca and I were actually talking about this a little bit. So when we were in law school, because I remember this fucking vividly, even though it was eons ago, it was, everybody is fighting for the big law jobs, right?
Right.
Which is starting at when we were there, I was there in 2001 to 2004, but it was starting off at 150,000 or 125,000 or 100,000, whatever it was. Outrageous money for a law student. You're like, thank God I cannot be poor and I can go out to dinner and all the things.
Right.
But what I don't think a lot of the law students realize is that then you're billing a shit ton of hours and your annual salary is not going to increase that much every year during raise time, right? So the ones who actually go into the plaintiff side work and they're doing personal injury, even though they might start low, their ability to earn huge amounts of income actually helping people and doing good work significantly overshadows the ones who are law review, go to big law, bill fucking 100 or 80 hours a week. It's out of control.
And I feel like it's more personal, compared to internships at big law firms or just big law in general. In personal injury, you really get to be involved more. Whereas I feel like a lot of my friends who are doing those big law internships and everything, they're really far removed and doing...
Well, they're doing document review.
Right.
I mean, you get to stay in a windowless room for 10 hours a day or 12 hours a day and fucking review documents.
And wear suits. I mean, I felt like they were it's such a different, buttoned up scene. Do you feel like the vibe amongst law students, though, is... I definitely feel like people looked down upon personal injury lawyers when you were in law school. Honestly, is it still that way? Or I wonder if it's if that has shifted.
Honestly, I haven't experienced any of that. And actually, I have a couple friends that I know that took personal injury law firm internships this summer. And I really haven't gotten any negative feedback from what I've experienced.
Because I do feel like it was kind of the frowned upon.
It was more like ambulance chasing type thing. There were a lot of, I had a boyfriend in law school with me and we went and lived in Vermont for the summer. And he clerked at a pretty good size personal injury firm that they were just really good litigation attorneys, right? And he learned a lot from them. So ours didn't have that bad of a stigma. It did definitely for I don't know. There was just such a divide between law review and big law versus kind of the rest of the group, and everybody kind of coveted that big law thing. And looking back on it, it's that's actually the last fucking thing you want to do. Your world is going to be fucking miserable for the next 12 years doing that. And if you're a female, somewhere in those 12 years, you might actually want to get married and have a baby. And then you are fucking off partnership track in a heartbeat and you're fucked. So
you're done.
I would say always go for the more litigation stuff. If you have that type of personality, go for the personal injury type firms. That's my...
and I was not... I felt like I was really smart before I went to law school. And then I went to law school.
And you're like, oh.
I was not as smart as I thought I was. And in fact, I was kind of embarrassed. I'd always been a straight A student, other than drama 15 at UNC. I got a C- and that was weird. I mean, I didn't go.
I failed a theater class.
I had the drama thing too. I was one of the TAs. Her name was Rosemary, and she fucking tried to fail me. I was this
guy hated me.
Yeah.
But it conflicted with my pool schedule when the basketball players were at the pool. Whatever.
It's always the theater and drama teachers.
Right? Yeah.
It's always
Did not.
the theater and drama
so mad
teachers.
about not being
You're
taken seriously.
Come on, guys.
But I remember, when this first, because they put such an emphasis, and I'd heard before I went to law school, everybody's you have to knock that first semester out of the park. It's setting up the rest of your legal career.
2.3. 2.3 is what I got my first
I think
semester.
I got a 2.3 as well. I was
2.2.
See?
And it was so, and I remember, because I was walking and we had these weird asbestos-filled stairwell at University of South Carolina, and I was just so bummed. And I'm walking down the stairwell, and there were two very attractive gentlemen also in my class, and both of them had gotten all A's.
Fuck them.
And they were it was so easy, blah, 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 big law. They both also were going to get on law review. What? And I remember just being I'm never going to get a job.
Yeah.
I didn't make any of the journal reviews. And so my friend Katie and I started our own law review / shopping that we did every Friday while everybody else was writing papers. We went shopping. We were
That
like,
sounds a lot better than writing papers.
Yeah, much better.
For sure. So Allie had a very similar experience. Tell them about your experience with it.
Yeah, so I had a similar experience. I went into law school. I mean, I wasn't always a straight A student growing up. In high school, I was pretty much, all A's. College, I kind of just did what I needed to do to get by and get good
I had
grades.
graduated from UNC with like a 3.2. It definitely wasn't straight A's, but I also missed midterms because I skipped too many classes and was like, oh, fuck, when is the midterm in this class? Last week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
College can be a little hectic.
Fun.
Out on your own, whatever it is. But I definitely went into law school with the same kind of mindset. Like, I'm smart. I can learn anything. I'm motivated.
Anything you put your mind to.
I can do anything, exactly, that I put my mind to. So that was my mindset going in. And then it just hit me. Actually, it didn't hit me until I got my grades back from first semester. I thought I was doing really well my first semester.
Same.
And I was like, this is the hardest I've ever worked, I've ever studied.
I read all the time. I was in the library all the time. I should have gone back to old me.
Yeah, it's just,
You
think you're doing good.
I actually didn't realize that I needed, I thought I was going to get by just like I did at UNC. And by not reading and not really, I've got to actually go to class, and they'd be like, you need to read 400 pages a night. And I'm like, go fuck yourself. I'm not doing that. And so they'd be like, Miss Stottlemyre, stand up. What do you think about this civil procedure question and conflict of laws? And I go, can I pass? And they're like, no, ma'am, you can't pass it. I'm like, well, this is going to be a long fucking hour, I guess. All right, guys, what do y'all want to talk about? I guess ask me questions off the cuff at this point. So I learned how to study.
Yes. Yeah, and I mean, I knew that I needed to read something, but I definitely cut corners first semester because I had the same idea. I was like, oh, I got this, And then I went into finals, and finals shook me a little bit. Because when I got into the test, I thought I showed up super prepared. And then when I got into the test, I was like, oh, crap. Like, there's a lot of details here I feel like I missed. And that was, I think, the biggest thing that I learned first semester is, like, the details are really important. It's not just big picture in law school. It's a lot of small details that you really need to latch on to do well. And so, I got my grades back. I called you, texted you, gave me words of wisdom. And they put me...
You were devastated.
I was absolutely devastated.
I was like, baby, everybody does this. This does not mean... It has no bearing on your ability to be a lawyer.
And a lot of the best lawyers, present company obviously included,
right here,
did not have a good first semester of law school. Yeah. I think doing well in law school is very hard to do, number one. They only give out the curve is so intense. Yeah. Everybody doesn't get an A in law school.
Yeah.
No.
They're not allowed to.
But I think when you get out and start practicing, and this just by virtue of kind of being around lawyers so much, being a good lawyer oftentimes doesn't, certainly you have to know the law, but there's a lot more to being a good lawyer than just knowing the answer.
People skills.
Yeah.
100%.
Definite people skills. After I got like that 2.3. It was not good. And then I think I got like a 2.7. Like I was inching my way up because I was figuring out that I had to do it. Then I wrote onto the Journal of International Law, and then
super cool,
which was so much fun.
Yeah.
And then I ended up not getting below like a 3.3 or something. The rest of my time there, I think I might have gotten fucking like a 3.8 one semester. I don't know what the hell happened.
Dean's list.
I know. I was like, look at me, I'm brilliant. But I had to learn how to study. And if you had a fun college career and you were smart, chances are you did not learn how to study like what law school demands.
Yeah, not at all.
Not at all. Because you could just use your brain and kind of skate right through and it would be fine. Not in fucking law school.
It's like if you don't know it, you don't know it.
No,
there's no way around it.
And you can tell you don't know it as you're answering the question. You're like, I think I missed this concept.
Yeah. So my dad actually, he got the book for contracts. I remember him telling me that. So I was like, well, fuck you. I'll get the book for contracts too. So I start going into the UCC and, it was like open book. And I start going into all of these different sections that we did not cover in contracts whatsoever. But I was like, watch this. I'm going to get the book. You know why? Because I bet you this fucking applies and this applies and this applies and Turns out none of it actually applied to the questions that they were asking whatsoever, which is why it wasn't ever highlighted in my book, because we didn't actually fucking cover it in class. But I felt that I was going to be very smart, and I think I got a C.
So was the book in your law school, was that like the highest grade?
Yeah, that's the highest grade.
So ours was called the Cali.
Oh.
I know.
Ours
that
as
was
well.
your Cali.
What
Yeah.
the fuck does that
I didn't
mean?
Cali anything. And you
I
guys
never
were wondering?
Cali'd
Yeah.
anything in my life. I don't know what the fuck that even means. Why is it called Cali? Is that short for something?
I don't
I
know.
have
They
no-
post it on
I'm not that smart.
Cali too. I think there's
I
like a
didn't get it.
Cali
CA.
website
Yeah.
where you can go look up.
I think
the
it's short for
grades.
it's CALI, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
getting a Cali. There's only like one Cali or two per class.
Yeah. No.
I never Cali'd anything.
I didn't Cali anything either.
I mean, I
definitely
Cali'd
haven't
shopping
yet.
on Fridays, but that was it.
No, I didn't get anything. It was brutal, but it does take you a long time to like get into it and figure out and get your groove, which is what I told you. I was like, deep breath,
Definitely.
baby, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And the other advice that I gave you was go in at the beginning of the semester and start looking at the practice exams. Go to
Right.
the library, look at the old exams before the other asshole students fucking go and hide them, shit like that. They would always do that towards final
so
time.
many
We had
crazy
some
people.
things this semester too that were
It's outrageous.
crazy.
No, I mean,
And it's all so people can get the big law. Like it's for the big law and the law review. Like the super competitive nature at that like level.
Yeah,
So
people
glad I
get
didn't
very
make it.
competitive.
Yeah.
well, what did you have happen? Because we would have people again, they would go in and they would steal the old exams so they wouldn't be available to the other students. I mean, you're just like, could your guys' dicks get any smaller? Can you stop doing things like
Just
that?
stop.
It's insane.
Can you just chill
Can you
out
just
and not
fucking
care
relax
as much?
and like, I don't know, maybe have a bourbon on the rocks and smoke a
Yeah.
cigarette. It might help you.
chill out. Go to
Yeah.
the bar for a second.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of like the hiding things because everything now is pretty much online, so everyone has
that makes
access.
sense. Okay.
But we had some
Back
tattletaling.
in 1973, when
We didn't
Rebecca
have
and
the
I
internet.
had to go to the library.
to Prodigy and the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
I hear those stories a lot from our professors too. They're
Do you
like,
still have
"We used
paper
to-"
books or is everything?
We do.
Okay.
So some teachers don't allow computers in the classroom, and some do. They all have their different reasons for it.
I used to
think-
get caught playing solitaire all the time.
Yeah,
Oh, you know
that's
what we
probably
played?
one
All
of the
the time.
reasons.
Yeah,
We played sex Tetris. So it was like Tetris, but it was like sexual positions.
What?
Clearly, this is why I didn't get
never
it.
heard of that.
This was on a computer? I never got that.
Called
I
sex
was never
Tetris.
one of my
seen that.
options.
I
Me
But then when they would click, they would.
neither. But they orgasm like,
Oh my god! So then you had to, like, so I was backwards.
Oh
Now,
my God.
in case you want to look up the fun game today, yeah.
We need to immediately download that
Yeah,
on
I
our
need to
phone.
see
That's
this.
hysterical.
All
for
listeners are like
sure.
sex Tetris.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
hope
my
they still
Lord.
make it. It was so fun.
would
We played
be
on the
fun.
background.
No,
That's
mine
hilarious.
was just solitaire, and you know, you try to like exit out, and the fucking professor would be coming around. And you're
Yeah,
like, no,
and
no,
you're
no,
like,
no,
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 no, please don't see it.
Mine was online shopping.
Oh, that'll get you. We
that
didn't have
was-
that then.
Yeah.
because
Just
we
scrolling through.
were just
The internet
This
had
was-
literally just been
yeah.
created.
So this is 2001, right? So
Did y'all have laptops?
we
We did very
we
slow.
had laptops, but it was not connected to the internet. I don't think this was just so I could like take notes and stuff in class.
So I don't know if y'all saw recently. It's one of the like Midwestern states. I think Indiana. Parents can no longer profit off of their children's like influencing.
Well, thank God.
It's like
for
a new
fucking
law.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's literally, it goes back to like our age group whenever we were growing up, like the pageant moms, you know, like you're putting your like sexualizing your fucking kids.
Right.
and
So
shit
creepy.
For money.
Dance
For money.
moms. Every time I walk in, that damn
I'll
Dance
kill
Moms is
Dance
on.
Moms.
Oh,
Madeline
Dance
fucking
Mom.
loves Dance Moms. I'm like, this is such fucking trash.
It's like
Turn
an
it off
amoeba
right
eating
now.
Hayden's brain every time I walk in.
Disgusting.
So
So
annoying.
really quickly before we go though, I want to get like your top like 3 like fast facts or recommendations for people who are wanting to grow their social media presence, right? A lot of business law firm owners,
Right.
people, you know, that are our age, we're like moving a little bit slower. I mean, we happen to be in the know, but a lot of people aren't. So if you could please give us like 3 quick tips that you would say.
I would say one, there's definitely a difference between personal brands and business brands on social media. I would say for personal brands, which I feel like y'all's is a little bit more of a personal brand, one, you want to be genuine to who you are and yourself.
We
and
have that covered. We're
You have
daily
that-
train wrecks.
100%
So anyway,
covered.
last week I actually shit my pants. Anyone else? Anyone else shit their pants?
People
last
love
week? As
it.
adults, they think that's funny.
It does make
They
them
love
feel
it.
better about what's happening in their lives.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is my goal.
Exactly. People want to be able to relate.
Yes.
And when you're all fake and done up and not
Yeah, I
really
know.
giving them anything, they're like, okay, swipe.
That's not our thing. That's
yeah,
our
it's
jam
not.
now.
Can't relate. Number 2, I would say quality over quantity. You want to have quality content on social media that's actually going to stick and is true to your brand. And then number 3 is don't be so quick to just follow all of the trends or piggyback off of what's going on right now, because even though you might have a spike in followers or a spike in viewers, it'll go down
You're gonna
just
lose
as
some.
quick. Just
Right.
as quick. And then you lose your genuine followers because now they see, oh, okay.
They're like, ew,
They're
you're just
just-
trying to be
It was a gimmick.
trendy bullshit.
Right. You're just you just like everyone else doing the trendy thing. So to really build a quality brand on social media, which takes a long time, which people don't like. They want to grow really fast overnight.
Kind of like SEO, right? Like people will be like, oh, good. So next month I will be hitting this many. I will be at the top of Google
Right.
page. No, you won't. It'll take a fucking year. You'll spend $10,000 a month on fucking SEO search terms and all of the things, and then eventually get up there.
Right.
Everything that's good that will put you at the top actually fucking takes time.
Right. The
Womp
fast
womp.
lane is not always the best lane
No.
to be in, especially with social media and building your brand. So
I feel like you're referring to the Hawk Tua girl.
let's talk about her.
I love her.
Yeah,
I
she's
feel like it
super
could have been
cute.
any of us.
I don't know.
She's
I don't know anything
cute.
about her, but I do know that Missy Elliott fucking talked about it when we were growing up. So I'm like, listen, this is not like new. Why are people so like shocked and enamored?
It's
Yeah.
just one of those weird
What if
things.
you were dead?
Oh my God. I
right.
immediately thought, because I mean, I could
Like, this is why my
literally
daughter got famous, the Hawk
envision
Tua. I would
myself
just-
walking down the
Kim
street.
Kardashian. Maybe
Oh, yeah.
something it just changes the fucking the narrative. Where you're like, now she's a multi-billion-dollar business.
Well, she did make a
owner.
ton of money off of T-shirts and hats.
Fucking gross.
She's actually done a lot. Like
She's done a whole
been
lot.
invited to a lot. She's done a lot of interviews.
She was literally like one
Has
of
a
us that
publicist,
just
I
had
think.
like too many cocktails and somebody caught her on camera.
She was
That's
in
why I hate-
Nashville too, downtown Nashville.
That's what could happen to us in Nashville. Watch what you say on video.
Yeah. Yeah. Watch
See,
for the
this is
camera,
why,
guys.
Can we just fucking get the phones out of here? Because I don't
Yeah.
need somebody recording me saying something like
Yeah,
that.
Hawk
And
Tua.
shit like that could literally fly out of my mouth at any fucking moment.
100%.
I mean, like,
100%.
Let's be honest. I don't need that
Yeah.
recorded. But I mean, I guess it makes a whole lot of
But
money.
if it makes you
mean,
a couple $1 million, whatever.
I mean,
I
that's
will
not
say
bad.
one positive thing that I have seen about her is she's done a lot of like charity work and stuff with it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
I think she's
done
so cute. Like,
she's
I-
super cute.
How
The
old
first
is
time I
she?
she's
She's 20,
mid-20s, I think. Like,
23,
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I mean, the second I saw it, I go, oh my God, what if that was me and that was my dad?
No, it's literally
Like-
like another leg spitting on a dick for charity. I mean, what? No, you
It is
can't
what it's
do
like.
that. I mean, but
Yeah,
you know what?
it is-
High five to her.
Yeah,
she's a hell of a lot better than
for
some
the
of our
kids.
people that pretend not to. So you know
Right.
what? Love her.
Well, cheers.
Very
we love you,
genuine.
Allie. Thank you for
Yes,
being here
honey.
today.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much.
Thanks for the white
Cheers.
wine.
Y'all are the best.
I know. I'm the only one who
white
has a
wine.
second glass.
I got a second glass.
Oh, okay.
Still on my first.
Anyway, thank you all so much for joining us today on Lawyers and Libations with Allie. She is one of our great loves. And I can't wait to see how you thrive. The rest, I'm telling you, fucking second and third year are going to be a cakewalk.
Much
I
better.
hope so.
After the first year, you're going to be
Yeah.
just fine. So we will see you next time with Lawyers and Libations with Sarah and Rebecca. Thanks for joining.